Welcome, welcome. I am super excited to be here with you in this moment, in this space. Thank you so much for all of you that are joining us. I'm super excited. If you're new to the group and new to me, my name is Christina Abad. I'm a love and relationship coach. And I'm super excited because I have the amazing Lila Veronica here with me today. And she helps women to earn wealth, accumulate wealth, doing what they love. And I think that is so pertinent for such a time as now. And I'm super excited to really share this with all of you ladies in our community and really discovering what that connection is with having wealth, and enjoying love as well. So thank you so much for being here, Lila. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I know this group, right, is full of women who are driven and, and be desirable, and what better way to, to talk about being driven and desirable than to talk about wealth and love, right? So I really appreciate the group that you are hosting and having me on and giving me the opportunity to share. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, welcome once again. And as I mentioned, it's such an amazing time for this really coming to realize how important both wealth and love and relationships are in our life. And most importantly, being able to accumulate wealth, to earn wealth, doing something that you love. So I'm really excited to hear your take on that because I know for many of the women that are in our group, they have both a desire for love, they have a desire for true connection, as well as enjoying the finer things in life, right? Whatever that may be for anyone specifically. But I'd love to hear your take on that unique connection that makes it possible to earn while you do something that you love.
I'm just going to breathe it into my heart and feel the love for a moment because that's part of the lesson. So like Christina said, I help women create wealth doing what they love. Most women think they can't do what they love and make money, create wealth. They think they have to do something else, and then maybe what they love is their hobby and they could do it on the side. Now, maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe they want to have a job and create just a hobby on the side. But I know there's some people in this group and all the women that I work with who have gifts, talents, brilliance to bring to the world. And it would be super simple from my eyes, because this is what I do for a living. This is what I do all the time. It's super simple to bring that brilliance forward and create something out of it that other people will want, and then create a product, a service, a package, something for the marketplace. And then, of course, you have to learn how to market it and sell it and all that stuff. But the first step is believing, right, that you can actually create wealth doing what you love. Now, what I will say is creating wealth doesn't mean you're always going to do everything you love, right? Like there's parts of your business where you don't love. You might not be a computer person, a tech person, but you got to do a couple tech things. You might not want to be a speaker, but you need to give a couple presentations, right? Like something in your business along the way is not going to be like enjoyable. It's just not, but, or even in your job, if you decide to get a job doing what you love, not every part of the job is going to be perfect and great. Like it might be the best job ever. And then you got like that one coworker who brings tuna to work every day. You're like, okay, this is a great job, except for tuna fish over here. Right? Like, so whatever, like nothing is always perfect. I just want to start there. Okay. However, most women especially believe that they deserve less than what they really could have in this lifetime, whether it be the kind of partner or the way they create wealth. the way their energy is, their body, any of that. There's this feeling amongst women that they don't deserve it, that they need to live smaller. There's almost like this, sometimes this humility, this humble thing. And that works on some level. But what I see mostly with people that I work with and a lot of just regular women that I meet, right, that aren't even entrepreneurs or in the world of personal development or trying to become better in their life or anything like that. It's just that they play small. They play small. And I know, Christina, you're here and I'm here, right, to help women play bigger. And whatever that means in their life, but every single woman has something inside of her that she wants to express, and she's not expressing it right now. It's painful. And so whether you want to be in love or you want to create wealth, or you want to create wealth doing what you love while you're in a partnership, perhaps, whatever you want, if that's not happening and you want it, there's a bit of a gap. There's an energetic gap in what you have and what you believe you deserve and what you want and what you really deserve. So that was going sort of conceptually. I could talk about the money-making piece, but the belief piece is really huge. And I guarantee you, so anybody out there who's like thinking like right now, based upon everything that's going on in the world, you might be rethinking what you're going to do in the future, or you might wanting to be doing something right now different. You may feel fearful, even like, oh, I need to do something different now or else. Or you just might be inspired and think, I want something different. I don't know what it is yet, but I want something different. Inspiration, something coming out. Or you might be super enthusiastic, like, boom, now's my time. I'm going to do this, but you still haven't figured out the wealth piece. Okay? That's what happens a lot. So this is the time. I did a video yesterday. It was like, if not now, when? Like, if you have something to do, you want to bring forward in the world, like, what are you waiting for? No judgment, but like, really, like, what do you like? And Christina's here and I'm here, to help you. But there's no need to wait anymore. Step up. If you're called, step up. It's time. And you can get help. People can show you. You don't have to do everything by yourself. And so that's another piece with women creating wealth and love. Trying to do it all alone. It's one of the biggest mistakes you can do is trying to figure it out on your own. Like, if you've been trying to figure it out on your own for a long time and it hasn't been working, how's that working out for you? That's what I'm saying. How's that working out for you? Right? Like, just get some help. Getting mentorship and coaches and having colleagues and friends and people who will really give it to me real has been one of the best, if not the best, choices I've made in my life. Because I was hankering along in life, brilliant, in certain areas. I used to, so is it okay if I tell a little bit about my background?
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Okay. So that way you guys know, who the heck is this woman? I, like Christina said, I help women grow businesses and create wealth through, packaging high-end coaching services, for example, or charging more in their business, creating extra revenue streams, having more visibility in the market, creating messaging that's really in alignment with who you are, even if it seems weird, right? We work with the weird, right?
Absolutely.
Right, the world is ready for the weird, right? So a lot of my clients are more esoteric or spiritual or coaches or in tune with energy, or there's some level of understanding that, the 3D world, there's more than that, okay? And so a lot of people in that world that are more spiritual, we'll say, kind of esoteric kind of spirituality, are scared to get out there, right? Especially right now, like everybody's so like, wah, 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 on you if you say anything. It's so sensitive, triggered. And so a lot of people that are coming up with, maybe new ideas, new awarenesses, are scared to share. And, you have a safe community. I have a safe community. There are people that you can connect with. So do it. So anyways, I'll go back to what I used to do. I used to teach environmental policy at Ohio State University. So I spent years and years and years in my head getting smarter and smarter and smarter, I thought. I know a lot. I'm an intellectual woman. I probably have a high IQ in terms of the IQ test. I haven't taken one in years, but I was in gifted programs and took IQ tests when I was younger and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean a happy life. Okay? It actually doesn't mean you're going to manifest what you want either. So I found myself highly educated, but not making very much money because I chose a field that I just didn't value myself in the market. So I got jobs that paid low. Chose a field of which was fine. I mean, I'm glad I chose the field I did, but even in that field, there's more money to be made. I chose the cheapest jobs. I just didn't value myself. I grew up poor. Assumed that I was supposed to be of service to the world. I didn't need money. As long as I have enough to eat, I'm fine. That's what I used to think. If you think that right now, let's talk. Because that's not true. Mm-hmm. You're limiting yourself. And what I was doing is I was actually limiting my capacity to give, because the more you give, the more you receive. The more you give, the more you receive. And I was also shutting off receiving. So I was worn out. So if you're giving, if you have a job where you're not receiving as much as you're giving, for example, you're going to wear out. You're going to wear out your adrenals, for example. You're going to wear out your heart. You're going to wear out something in your body. Your hip's going to go out. You're going to break your arm. Something's going to happen. And so I was just exhausted, drained, done. A lot of it had to do, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the big ones was like just giving, and not receiving enough. So that's a huge lesson with creating wealth and love. You can't just be the giver, women. We're really good at giving. You need to be really good at receiving. That's actually the feminine energy, right? I'm sure Christina talks about this, right? Receiving. And so it matters in wealth and it matters in love. And so, I came out to Colorado, had a spiritual awakening. I could talk about that, another time. But then I started getting into personal development world and learning that I had a very limited mindset around money. Like I was the girl who would save like any box and turn something out of it. Because I was like, I don't need some container, some plastic container. I'll save the earth and create something out of a tissue box instead. Okay, which is fine. That's nice. But I wasn't doing it from just to save the earth standpoint. I was doing it from I don't have enough money to buy a plastic container. Okay. So I'm going to talk. I've made some notes, but I'm kind of on a run right now, so I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, go for it.
I would love working with women like you and other women who are really intelligent. You know a lot. You're smart. You're spiritual. You're connected, right? Because those are the women who often get in their own way. And it's my job to help you see your value. Your mind will overthink, just in general, like any woman who's really smart will overthink everything. Like if she's really intellectual and not grounded and not breathing and not in her body. And that's what I was. I was just a thinker. I say I have a supercomputer up in here. I teach breathing and presence for a reason, embodiment for a reason, because this thing would overtake me. And I guarantee there's people listening right now and later who are thinkers. Okay. And so I got to a point where I was worn out. I was teaching at Ohio State. I was actually getting ready to get out of a relationship. My marriage was ending, super stressful. And I just had a breaking point of my adrenals were shot. I had to figure something out, got into yoga, got into embodiment, got into coaching, learned presence. And then now I know that I have an endless supply of energy. Okay. I also know how to create wealth. And that's what we're going to talk about today more. But if you think I can't afford it, all you're saying is, I don't know how to create it. That's it. If you shift it to, instead of I can't afford it, to how can I afford it? How can I create that much value in the market? Right? Then you become the creator of your own reality. So I'm going to talk a little bit about manifestation today and how it's directly relates to wealth and love, but it's the same thing in relationship, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, I can't find the girl. I can't find the guy. Instead, How can I find the guy? Empower yourself. They're the exact same energy. Attraction is attraction is attraction, whether you're attracting revenue, attracting wealth, or attracting a partner. It's the same energy. Attraction is attraction is attraction. Okay? So if you're not able to get the guy, you probably can't get the money. I'm gonna go to my notes here I took earlier because I'm so excited to be here. And first of all, let me go back to my story. So, I was in academia. I left academia. I took care of my health, right? Realized that I can't give all the time. Started receiving more, creating, relationships in my life to help me out, so I don't have to do everything on my own. Right? I get massages. I'm getting one tomorrow. Right? I'm receiving. I do, a lot of receiving work so that things are more balanced. And through that journey, I studied yoga. I studied a lot mindfulness, movement. I'm an expert around the fascia, connective tissue, and really what I realized was the body and wealth creation and the body and love are directly related. Your heart chakra, open up your heart, connect everything, be fully in alignment with who you are and your body and your mind. You'll attract the love of your life, and you'll attract the ideal clients and the right amount of money that you need for whatever you need. Okay. So I went through that process of learning a lot about the body and the mind and all that. But then I realized not many people were actually living it. Because there's a lot of talk in the yoga world about living in alignment with who you're really meant to be. But a lot of people were broke. And they're unhappy in a relationship. They don't have love. They're overworked. I see it all the time. I was like, this feels a little out of integrity. I'm a Capricorn moon, so integrity is a big deal to me. And for those of you who talk astrology, integrity is something I see right away. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So I started realizing that, through the coaching world, that there was more work to be done. If we were going to really be talking the talk, or, if we're going to be talking the talk, we need to be walking the walk. And it starts with me. So I started getting it. I realized wealth, for example, was one of the biggest problems with every generation. Money is just a problem with people. They have problems with it. They don't want to talk about it. They do want to talk about it. They're scared about it. So I started doing money training. And then before you know it, I started a business. I do coaching. I help you with your body and I help you with your wealth. And so it's like mind, body, spirit, but wealth is the energetic piece. It's the spiritual piece, actually. So money is just spirit in action, I've learned. You don't even have, most of the time, you don't even see your money. It's just numbers. So it's just energy. So spiritually, you can connect to that energy and grow your wealth. It's the same thing with love. Love is an energy. That's it. So you connect with more loving energy, you attract more loving energy. So you start to become that. So that's what I started to do. I was like, well, how do I become it? So I'll give you guys basically what I did to get where I am. If you want more wealth, and now I have a business that'll, it'll probably reach 500,000 this year. And, I have a great life of clients that I freaking love. I'm so inspired by every single day. Like, they're so amazing people, some of them, they're like, they're freaking cool chicks. And I work with couples now. I've worked with like 4 couples this year, and that's been really new and exciting and interesting. And I get to work with people all around the world. I've worked with people on 5 different continents, right? So working on your wealth is more than just the money piece. It's like the money piece is the money piece is the money piece. That's great. All that is a sign of what I've put forward in the world. So if you're really here to make a difference in the world right now, and now's the time, creating wealth is literally just a reflection of how much love you're spreading, right? My clients feel loved by me on some level. Even if I'm hard on them, they feel loved. Right? I love them, I'm sweet with them, but love them too. You're hard on them too. So they feel loved because I'm there. Like, I'm like, I can, I'm going to help you. So I care, I really care. And so there's a lot of resistance to wealth in the spiritual community, the personal development community, like it's like kind of bad or something, or not good. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, like a mindset issue, and then say, like, let's just agree that that's not true, and that and none of that. And just notice it's going to come up, but it's not true. If it doesn't feel good, it's not true. What's true is if you have more wealth, you're creating more love in the world. You're loving on more people. That's it. So when you're loving on more people, what comes back to you? Love and wealth, but also love. So I want to, before I go and share, I want to be very transparent and say, I'm not. My throat chakra just got a little beat. That was funny. Love it. Got a little nervous. Look at me. So be aware of your body, friends. It'll tell you everything. So I'll just share with you. So I'm not in a partnership, a romantic partnership, right? I don't have my boyfriend or my husband or my lover person, my one person, my partner, my beloved. There's all the names for it right now. So I'm not in that kind of partnership at this moment in time. What I will say is that I have a ton of love in my life, though. Every single relationship I have is loving. I don't have any sort of disdain, what I call static, with any other human on the planet. Now, the one person who still can trigger me is my mother. And I'm working on that. I've been working on it for years. I'm still working on it. Barely, but I can notice little subtle things where I get into my child way, like I become the daughter instead of being the grown woman. Right. So I'll be honest, that's still a loving part, relationship, but there's still a little static there. So I got to be honest with you, 100%. But other than that, that's normal, I think, for most of us. I don't have really any static or any negativity with other people. Now, other people might have negativity towards me, right, on some level that I don't know about, right? There's subtle things. Somebody might see us in videos and not like me or something. Like, that's okay. But I don't feel it personally with anybody. And that's a big deal. And I do feel that, romantic love is coming soon. That part of my life will be blossoming probably soon. But the wealth piece and the love piece have been directly related. The relationships that I've built have grown and deepened as my wealth has grown. Because business and wealth, it's just about people, helping people, right? And so let's talk. What's coming up for you, Christina? How's this feel?
Oh, this has been awesome. There's so many correlations that I want to point out for any of you that might just be joining in or tuning in, because it becomes very apparent, the correlations and the similarities, and it's to bring that awareness. You mentioned, in business, there might be things that might be scary, like the tech or learning how to sell, or little components, right, that make up the whole, but it might be a little scary. And it's very similar in relationships, right? Learning how to navigate that. Like you so beautifully mentioned, love is not always, great, right? It's not always perfect. It's not always seamless and smooth, right? There's some bumps in the road. There's some curves in there. And that's the beauty of really seeing how each one goes hand in hand, right? Those energies that you mentioned, because it's the ebb and flow of the energy, right? It's what some would say, right? Rolling with the punches. But really, like you said, in a conscious way, with intention, right? You can do something with an intention of love and connection and getting to know someone, the same way that you can go into business with that intention of wanting to be of service and wanting to help and really create that difference in the world, right? While sharing your knowledge, your love, and everything that we have inside to share. It's that same energy. So I just wanted to really like shed light on that, because it's coming through so beautifully. And I just wanted to thank you for that, because there's so much correlation that I want to I want to make it evident, right? Like it's the same energies. It's the same thing that we're playing with, right? The joy of, right, having a new client, the joy of going on a new date with someone, right? Making that new connection, getting to know someone, right? And it's that journey, the same thing in building connections, building relationships, and building a business, right? Building wealth, building a healthy relationship with your wealth as well, right, Lila?
Oh, absolutely. I love that you said, the energy, and it's like everything is energy, everything. And how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And so these connections that you're bringing forward is so poignant. And I love that you brought up sales because I love to talk about sales. Because if I'm really teaching sales, and I get really deep with somebody, I'll start crying because I see the sales conversation as one of the most love, and the way I teach sales, I speak about sales on stages, right? I help my clients with sales. I'm having a love affair with sales right now. Can you tell? So funny. But it's such an opportunity to love on people and help people love on themselves, really. Sales to me is an opportunity to open up somebody's mind to their own potential and love them, that potential. And with relationships, it's like, I love that you said being excited about getting to know the person. It's the same thing. It's like we're looking at that other person. So sales and dating are just alike, because I'm just on the phone with somebody, just like you would be on a date, but it's with a potential client. And it's you're getting to know them by asking questions and listening and being interested and digging deeper and wanting to know more, right? And opening up and revealing things and then sharing things about yourself, right? And seeing if you guys want to have another date. It's the same thing in sales. And so I just see it as such like a beautiful, I love that you brought that up because it's such a beautiful connection and a beautiful, like, if we can all live in a loving state, wealth creation is just a natural byproduct. It's just a byproduct. It's the energy that we attract based upon the love that we give. Like, I could just be mic drop done right now, but I'm going to I'll talk about more stuff. But I literally right now, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All we need to do really is live in a loving state. So what does that mean? It means non-judgment, right? Non-attachment, and showing up in full service. And full service might be full service to yourself, even just being happy, joyful, generating your own fulfillment, prosperity yourself, right? Not relying on the other person. So non-attachment, non-judgment, and showing up fully. Right? So I'd like to talk a little bit about some ideas that I learned at the Millionaire Mind Experience and then how they'll relate to love. Would that be cool?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so there's this event called the Millionaire Mind Experience. It travels around the country. They've been doing it for years. And I went twice, and I think third time went and then decided to like bow out early in the event. I was like, okay, I've been enough. I know what they're going to do. So I didn't finish it the last time. So I will call myself out on that. But now I teach some of the concepts on it. So I went twice, and it's a fantastic event. I think I learned about it maybe through like a Tony Robbins event or something, a big event. So they're connected to all the those big groups of people who put on lots of events.
Yeah.
So here's what they talk about with wealth. It's called the Millionaire Mind Experience. If you guys want to check it out, I think I went maybe in 2015. So they talked about 4 different kinds of people with wealth. Okay, they talked about the ostrich. So the person who just like sticks their head in the sand, doesn't even want to know what their bank account is or anything. Nothing, they don't want to know. Same thing with the relationship. The person just like, I just want a relationship, but I'm just going to sit here, hope they like show up on my front door. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. It's just going to happen. So that's the first person. Then there's the overspender. So every time money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out. Right. So that's the person who like goes through a lot of people, relationships. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the miser is the person who like, that person who you've known forever, who you know they got like a bajillion dollars in the bank and they won't buy you a soda at the baseball game. They buy their soda and they came back real quick and you're like, I know you make a lot of, and you have a, okay, I'll buy my own soda. That's cool. That's cool. Right?
Like, see.
You're like, okay, right? Totally cool. Like, but we know those people, right? Totes cool. It's like that's just the way they're the more of the mindster type. You know, they hoard, and that's just there's mindsets around that we could go into, but it's the same thing with relationship. You might get somebody and think you need to hang on to them forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the monk, the one that thinks money is spiritual and bad, and I don't need the money. Right. And so in relationship, it can be like even the person in the personal development world, right? Who's like, I'm an independent person. I don't need anybody. This is my spiritual path, be by myself. And whoever's meant to come, the twin flame will arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it shows up. So I would ask yourself, like, where are you in relationship and where are you with money? And how can you, and I'll give you some ideas if you guys want, like I'll just, what I've done and how I help people, because I am passionate. I'm on a mission, I'll never shut up about it. Women deserve money for their gifts and deserve good love. And they don't believe they do. And I'm here to say otherwise, because I didn't used to think that, right? I went through 4 long-term relationships where they ended poorly. And that was when I decided, okay, the one common denominator is me. And if I'm going to have amazing relationships with humans on this planet, I got to fix me. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some ideas of some things that I've done. Same thing with wealth. I'm going to share this very vulnerable piece with you. But a big reason why I started creating wealth for myself was that I felt undeserving of love. In the sense of I didn't want to go on dates, or I would date down, because I was scared that if a guy would ask me to do something, I wouldn't be able to afford to do it with him. So I found myself lonely or dating people who were not good matches necessarily. And I thought, I got to fix this. This is not me. And so I had to fix my wealth issue to feel deserving of higher level men. So I just want to call that out. That's not something a lot of people talk about, but women, if you feel like you don't have a lot of money, so therefore you need some guy to either pay for your stuff, or you need some guy who doesn't have money too, it's not true. And if you want to create wealth on your own, let's get it popping. Let's talk. But I just want to honor that feeling state, because I had that. Now, on the other end, what's happened, so I'm just going to talk about it, super real. Now that I have more wealth than most partners that I meet, in my mind, I'm like, have I met anybody that has as much as me now? Not lately. I'm moving though. I'm going for a move. Maybe I will. I didn't realize that until this moment. Actually, that's a pretty big aha. So that's interesting. So that actually says to me that I'm still not quite in alignment. Okay, cool. I'm a human. So, what happens though is that I have met then people who feel that I am too successful for them. So I was scared that I wasn't successful enough for somebody, and then I get success, and then people are like, "No, you have too much going on for me. I'm not good enough for you." I'm like, "What?" So I get to see it from the other side now, right? And so this is what's going on with the connection between wealth and love as well. It's actually creating a barrier between hearts. They see somebody has wealth, or, oh, I want it. It creates a connection that's false. Mm-hmm. So wealth and love are directly connected. Like, let's just be real here, right? And like, we can talk about the energy, but this is what's really going on. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's survival. It's normal. It's reptilian. It's like this mammalian thing inside of us. So it's okay, but let's be aware, and let's not let it take over us, and let's take control of our own lives instead. Okay. So let's talk about how. Have you ever had people talk to you? I'm just curious before I share this about wealth and love and relationship and being scared or
Oh,
about.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, like you said, it's very tied in to what of that feeling of worthiness, of being able to receive or show up for it. So it's very tied in, and once again, super important to bring in that awareness, like you said, because it's there, right? There's all these components, for survival, for connection, for all the things, right? We can definitely trace it back to, learned behavior that has been passed down, and that's how we do things, right? We instinctively know that we thrive in groups and communion, and yet somehow it's also that disconnect of feeling, well, what do I bring to the table? Do I bring enough to the table? Do they bring enough to the table? Right. And once again, there's that disconnect. So I love that you're bringing this forward, because once again, it's something that can be elusive, right? If we're not actually being attentive, if we're not actually going with intentionality to live the life that we claim to want, right? Whether it's in our relationships, with our wallets, right? With our businesses, our careers, whatever we have going on in our lives, but really, once again, bringing that intentionality. So I love that you're bringing this forward, Lila.
Thank you. This is kind of like the dark and dirty stuff that people don't talk about.
Love it.
Yeah, people don't talk about the fact that they're insecure around money and relationships often. So I love that you said it's elusive. And so I'm going to give you just like a couple list of things, but we just mentioned, the ostrich, the overspender, the miser, the monk. Hopefully that brought some light and things aren't as elusive to you anymore. Where are you, first of all? Like, where are you right now? So in terms of like getting over this, there's a little 3-step process that I like to mention. It's reveal, feel, heal. Okay. So this elusive nature of why don't I have the money and man I want, right, is first of all, we need to reveal it. So that's why working with a coach, a mentor, colleagues, friends who will give it to you real in a loving way is really important, because it's often hard to see yourself amongst yourself. So getting other people to support you also who understand, like, Christina could see something around love like that. I can see something around wealth and the body like that. And so somebody who has an eye that's trained, or a mind or energy that's trained to help you get what you want, is so helpful in the reveal. You can reveal it on your own. What I would say is that it'll just take you longer. That's all. It'll take you potentially a lot longer on your own than getting help. So that's why, as Americans, we want coaching, because we want to get things faster. We love to get things faster. So if you want to build a business faster, if you want to have a man faster, woman faster, anything like that, it's like, get some help. And it's like the booster. It's like a rocket booster. It's like turbo on a car. So the second piece is feel. Okay. So a lot of people that want coaching but won't get it, or who want the business or want the man and won't get it, whatever, it's just because you won't want to feel uncomfortable. So I love what you said about, we both kind of said it. It's like, everything isn't going to be peachy keen. You're not going to love everything. You've got to feel the discomfort. You need to feel the things that are elusive, like I just brought forward to you. I was like, oh snap, I just realized even in this moment, there's a misalignment. I'm still not quite attracting men at the same wealth level. Do I need to? I don't know, right? But it hasn't showed up in that way for me to even experiment with. So that's interesting. So I'm willing to feel that vulnerability and that imperfection within myself right now, live with you. Okay. Now, some experts and speakers and teachers might not even say that. They might go do the little personal development work, which is fine. Do the lesson, come and teach you, and seem perfect. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to feel it in the moment. Say, whoa, look at that. That, my friend, is what most people aren't doing, and they need to do. They're going to wait and feel it later, or not feel it at all, or hide in the closet and try to feel it. It's got to process right now, or it's going to get stuck in the body, and it's going to rise up at the time that you don't want it to. So the time that you see an opportunity to create wealth, you're not going to step in. The time that you see that amazing man, you're like, I don't deserve him. He's too good for me. Okay.
I have to say, right on. And just to point out that that's where the thinking mind takes over, where you wait because now you got to think. So, really, once again, highlighting what you're saying about feeling it and not letting it be something that you're going to think about, but you're going to feel about.
Yes, so good. Let's feel about it, girl.
Feel about it.
Let's feel about this life.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah. And how do you feel? Well, let's just get real simple. You feel you bring your mind, your awareness to your body and breathe. Really. And I could go on and on. I teach people this. I just did a whole hour-long breath work lesson this morning. And but really, learn how to breathe and you'll be able to feel more. And you're not going to always feel good. That's the issue. You actually have to feel the bad as well. Like in life, you sometimes are healthy and sometimes are sick. Most of the time healthy. Occasionally you get sick. You might stub your toe or break your finger or bump your elbow even, something like that. That's kind of, not sick, but something, right? And so you got to just be willing to observe it all and feel it all. Reveal what's going on, feel it, whether it be good, bad, right, wrong, up, down, blue, yellow, it doesn't matter. Just feel it all. The feeling without judgment is the healing, is how you get to healing. So reveal, feel, heal. The feeling state, that middle piece, is what the challenge is for most people. So I'd love to talk about manifestation as well, the steps of manifestation and how they relate to reveal, feel, heal. Because I'm telling you, friends, if you choose to start getting into a feeling state, everything will change for you. Be the change, they say. That's what this is. That's what I'm going to talk about here. Okay. So I'm weaving in all sorts of like wisdom things that you've heard before, but I'm hoping you can hear them in a new way that's practical so you can actually do it and make it happen. Okay. Law or manifestation, right? Abraham Hicks 101. That's all I'm going to talk about here. Super simple. You can Google it, YouTube it, it's everywhere. To manifest what you want, wealth or love. Here's how. 3 steps. Step 1, the law of attraction. I'll go back over them. Step 2, the law of deliberate creation. And step 3, the law of allowing. Okay. Step 1, law of attraction. Law of attraction is really a lot about thoughts, thinking. Aligning your thoughts to be what you want. So I am a beautiful woman. I am deserving of love. I am worthy of wealth. I am statements we hear about. Like it's a lot of thinking, thoughts. Thoughts will affect your vibration. If you start thinking, I suck, your vibration's going to go down. So you want to elevate yourself through thoughts. You can also get rid of old thoughts, right? So to elevate your vibration. So get rid of thoughts and replace them with thoughts. So law of attraction, we see this all over, the secret, think your life into existence, what you think you are, right? All of that kind of stuff. So that's the first part. So I really believe that a lot of people in your community are doing this. Mm-hmm. They are aware of their mind, and some people have more positive thoughts than others, but you're aware of your mind, at least at this point, and you know what's going on up in there, and you're working on shifting it. And maybe you already have shifted and you feel pretty good vibrationally there. Pretty good. The next piece second piece is law of deliberate creation. Now here's the piece where you were just saying that people think too much and don't take action. Okay, so a lot of the personal development mindset work is fine, but it's too much. It's still feeding the place where the problem starts. If you don't have the partnership and if you don't have the wealth you want, it's because you have what's called by some wrong thinking, right? Your thinking is just not matched with what you want. However, you can't solely create your new world through the same place where the problem comes from. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Einstein said something like that, right? And so you have to take action. And that's where you get your body involved. That's why you got to be uncomfortable. That's why you got to step up and get on stage, do the video, go on the date, whatever it is. You got to think about it, then you got to do it. You got to move the body. The physical form, the flesh suit has to move in the direction of your dreams. You can't just sit around and think about it and and hope it happens. It ain't going to happen. It's going to happen, but not the way you want. Be weird. So don't be manifesting stuff weird. You know, we've all done it. So you got to get your body in motion, emotion, even. You got to get your energy in motion. Move your energy, right? Don't think, move that, move the energy and move the emotion and move the body and touch people and see, you know, test things out in the world and be a scientist and experiment and make mistakes and screw up and ask for forgiveness and learn your lessons, right? That's the human journey. That's the rhythm of life. And if you're not in the rhythm of life, you're not in manifestation. You're stuck.
Yes.
So you got to get in the game, jump in. And that's why I love working with women entrepreneurs, because it's daring and it's scary, but it's worth it because you get to live your full self and make wealth doing it. So I love it, but it's not easy. It's really hard. And so these are the women who are jumping in and saying, I'm doing it even though I'm scared. Mm-hmm. My mind is not perfectly like, I'm not scared. Everything's fine. No, it ain't gonna, you're not going to be confident before you take action. You need to take action about confidence. It works the other way around. So that's the second piece of manifestation. So just ask yourself now, what do you need to work on your thoughts? Do you need to work on your actions? Now here's the last piece. This is the piece that everybody makes the biggest mistake on and pretty much ignores altogether. And this is where the gold is. Because you might be thinking right and you might be taking action. The last part is law of allowing. Do you believe you deserve it? How much love can you receive right now? How much money can you receive at one time? For no reason at all. Could you walk down the street and somebody give you $1 million and you take it and not feel bad? If not, you got work to do on the law of allowing piece. Believing that you can receive this just for being a soul on this planet in this time-space reality, right here, right now. Why? Because you aligned your vibration, you took some action. It might not even been action for what the money came for. It doesn't matter. You might get a guy who comes into your life who's better than anything you ever expected, and you feel like, no, he's too good for me. I can't even. There's no way I'll never live up to that. What if all the work you've been doing so far, all the beingness, even the wrong thinking, the inaction, and then the shift to the right thinking and the action? What if all the moments you've blinked your eyelashes have been all that's needed to get exactly what you want and even better? So that's the piece that's really missing, I believe, especially in women, is the receiving piece. The law of allowing says you can think it, you can do it, but then you need to be ready to receive it. And there's all the thinking and even doing and no receiving, no slowing down, no surrender, no breathing. I believe everything you want is pretty much right there if you just slow down and tap into it. It's often right there, right? So this is, Abraham Hicks, law of, or The Secret, the movie, right? They talk about all this stuff, but it's really not connected with people enough. I really believe that if you deserve the goods that you want in the world, they'll come. Because the other pieces you're more trained to do. You're trained to think and do, but you're not trained to receive. You're actually trained probably to do more and get less.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to go bold because why not? Because I am. It's a bit. It's like slavery. We've been trained to be like slaves on some level. It's like we got to do more to get something. No, we did not come into this world to do more for others so that we get something. That's not the divine nature of things. Being, sharing love and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, but not the doing nature, I believe, is like slavery. It's like we're programmed to do so that we get something out of it. That's like freaking slavery. That's the way I see it. And I'm being bold here, and you don't have to agree with me, and I apologize if it's offensive to you, but
I so agree. And it's so apparent in both wealth and love. How we do so much to gain appreciation. You do so much, right? And this goes once again across, it's once again highlighting the connection of doing, right? Doing so much to prove your worth, whether it's in the workplace, to a lover, right? To get them to see that you're the one. And it's all that doing thing, right? That is programmed, right? Do at work for recognition. Do at work for money. Do more, learn more, right?
Yeah.
But then there's that disconnect in where do you allow yourself to receive, right? You're so in the doing that there's that, like you said, that breathing, being, and being able to receive the love, receive the appreciation, receive the clients, receive the wealth, receive, right, with open arms and not thinking, right, once again, that something has to be done, right, to gain the guy, to gain the wealth. So I just, once again, I wanted to highlight the connection because it's so important for us to bring that awareness, for us to really take that part that we have in being able to create that and being able to create the wealth that you want, doing what you love, and being able to create, you know, the relationships that you want that are filled with love, that are right, that you create moments of joy and love that you can share all of that with. So once again, I just wanted to highlight that because I completely agree. You know, we've been programmed to, and we've been taught, right? Even from a little kid, right? Who's doing more chores in the house, who's doing more, right? To gain the love, to gain the respect, to gain whatever.
To get more. Right? Yep. And it's like we don't need to do that. We can get by just being. And so I'll give you guys a couple last steps or just kind of like last points here that are some takeaways, other than, get some help. I would say if you really want something, get some help. We're both coaches, so it's easy for me to say that, right? I understand. So I'm not saying, do it because to work with me. It's just that if you want help, or if you want something and you get help, you'll get it faster. That's it. I'm all about, helping people get things faster. So what would you like right now do if you say like, okay, I'm not ready for a mentor yet. And if you are, send us a message, one of us. If you want to work on relationships or wealth, send us a message and we can chat, at least give you some ideas for your specific life. But if you're not ready, number one, create a clear vision. Vision board, write it out, journal something, write it down. Get very clear on what you want. Why do you want to have a business? Why do you want to create wealth? Why do you want a relationship? What is that going to look like? All of the things around it. What's getting in the way? Like, create the vision so clear of what it's going to look like when it happens that once it's there, you're ready to receive it. Because like I said, the biggest challenge is you're not ready to receive it. So you get clear on your vision. You do the mindset work, you take some action, you allow things to come. And then when it comes, you're like, oh, I've already seen it. It's already there. I knew it. Because otherwise, when the grand things come, when the big clients come, when the amazing man comes, you're not going to be ready. So create a clear vision. Okay. Number one. Number two, trust through the fear. Trust. How do you do that? Get in your body and breathe. But trust. You have got to trust the process and through the fear. It's not going to be all peaches and cream. You've got to trust the process. So get a clear vision, trust the process through that fear that you're going to have. And then be committed. The third piece, the last piece is be committed to the energetic expansion, because you're going to feel weird and different. If you create more wealth, if you have a great person, different relationships, you're going to feel different. It's an energetic expansion. So be willing to embrace that energetic expansion and be committed to the energetic expansion in your life, because otherwise there's no point in even trying to create the vision and feel the fear. If you're not really, if you get to that energetic expansion place and you're like, and you shrink, what's the point of doing all the work in the first place? So you see where I am. I'm telling you, like, you got to go in the future a little bit and be ready for that bigness, right? And then back it up a little bit.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And once again, going back to if you're not ready, you're not even going to see the opportunities that are already there, right? Like it's all really there, right? The love, the wealth, right? And once again, if you need support, like we mentioned earlier today, so many women are used to being the doers. They're used to being, right, the givers and doing it all by yourself at that. So realizing that, right, there's those that have come before us, there's those that have paved the way, right? And here's the thing, there's shortcuts, right? And that's like Lila said, that's what we do, right? We provide shortcuts and really helping with that expansion because it's growth, right? If you're not growing, you're shrinking. And that goes with your money, that goes with your relationships, that goes with your connections. And I'm super blessed and we're in a moment in time together right now, in this now moment, whenever you're even listening to it, right? It's going to be this moment right now where we get to share this thought, this intention of creating, right, something better, whatever that is personally for you, right? You want to live a better life, you want to have more money, you want to work for yourself, you want to, right, not think about what's going on in the world with jobs and careers and right, institutions crumbling, right? And being focused on you and your connections and how you get to show up and do big things, great things in the world. And that's what I love about both of our communities, Lila, that we're really founded on, like you said, not just thinking about it, but being it, right? Being the change. Because once again, it's not easy and it's uncomfortable, right? It just the same way as it's uncomfortable, starting a business, it's a new venture. Same thing with starting a relationships, right? Starting new friendships, starting new communities. Everyone is all for change, but what does that change look like? Everyone's all for change, but you have to, once again, like Lila said, have that crystal vision of where you're going. Because if not, you can be misled, right? You can kind of get thrown around with the waves that are going on in the world. But once you're crystal clear on what you want and what you want to experience and the type of wealth you want to create in your life doing what you love, the type of love you want to have in your life, period, then you can't get lost. That's the map right there. And once again, if you need some help, reach out to Lila, reach out to myself, and we'll show you the shortcuts.
Yeah, you can have everything you want. I mean, you really can. You can have wealth, you can have a business, you can have the relationships, you can have all the things. And if you need some ideas, even just, like she said, drop us a message. And I love new Facebook friends too. If you want to be my Facebook friend, Lila Veronica, Lila Veronica. Let's be Facebook friends. And I do a lot of videos. I do quite a few videos right now in June. With everything going on, I want to support you a little bit extra. And so you can feel into whether or not I'd be a good coach for you, if I resonate and all of that. And same thing with Christina. It's like, don't be scared. We're generous people. So we'll help you. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you
for
so
having me.
much.
Seriously, this group is just amazing. I've been kind of, following you and watching you and kind of seeing what's going on in your group for a while. And I just really commend the women that have big hearts and are really, sharing that love with the world. And same thing with the women who are, looking at their wealth and thinking about wealth. I really appreciate you. And everybody else, just may the rest of your summer be super duper fun. Create some fun for yourself, because that's the kind of energy that will attract what you want. So have some fun.
Absolutely. And once again, Lila, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing all of the goodies that just pour out of you. Thank you so much. And all of Lila's information will be in the descriptions. We're going to have links. So make sure you connect, right? Once again, this is all about connection. This is all about growth and knowing that you're not alone. We are here for you. We love you. And thank you so much for tuning into this very important message. So thanks again, Lila.
Thank you. Bye.